first of all, I would like to point out that banjos can do anything. Like they can play any kind of music regardless. They get pigeonholed into bluegrass and that kind of stuff a lot, but by no means are they limited. And there are myriad examples of extremely talented artists that do that every day. Bela Fleck, of course, Jens Kruger, Nempa Kelny, all these guys. Like they all write outside the box for the most part, and they really just write from the heart, and that's the main thing. Jens told me a while ago the technique is there to serve the emotion, not the other way around. So you want to come from a place that's emotional. It doesn't matter what kind of music you're writing. It makes absolutely no difference. It could be heavy metal, it could be classical, it could be whatever. As long as it's coming from a place of emotion and it's something that you feel and you feel that is important for other people to feel, write whatever you want. Start small though, start simple. If you've never done it before, banjos are in open G. Start in G. Pick an easy key. You know what I mean? Just kind of pick the low hanging fruit at first. Kind of come up with a basic idea, and go from there. And so, how do you come up with a basic idea? There's a couple of different ways to do it. You could have an idea for a lyric in your head, or just a simple melody, or something like that. In which case, you'll want to like kind of play with whatever that idea is. Or if you're not with your banjo and you have your cell phone, you can always just kind of sing it into the voice memos or something like that. Leave yourself a message. But if you want to think about it in terms of like nuts and bolts, like how to put together a thing, again, start with a simple idea. I'll use an existing example of a tune as a thing. Actually, I'll use a couple of examples. One, the idea is that you have a musical dialogue, so you can think of like call and response. So you can do this with one string. You can do it all on one string at first, and I'll use this as an example. So if this is the call, then that's a statement, and so then maybe there's a question that comes after that, and then okay, now the resolve. So we all know that one. Now that's just one note on one string at a time. The next thing you might want to do is add another note to it to add a little bit of harmony. So, and then, sounds good. Let's add a third note. Great, now you want to change it. Now you can change it any number of ways. You can change the harmony. You can change the technique. It could go, and then you're off to the races at that point. I know I'm picking a normal tune, but also not a bluegrass tune, to demonstrate this. But that's basically the idea. Like you just start with something really simple, and then stack something on top of it, and then keep going from there. And if you get to the point where it's like, well, we've completely lost the original idea, or this is starting to sound like gobbledygook, then reduce it back down to whatever it was before and start over. As long as the first idea is there, then you can kind of build from there. Like it's good to have that solid foundation. And at that point you can have a very simple thing that can become very ornamented or very complex or however arranged it might be. But it doesn't have to start that way. It can be pretty easy.